Hey guys, so I wanted to talk about something interesting, and you're only going to be able to relate if you've done something like this. So, I've been on this juice cleanse for 8 days, and the same thing happened to me when I did my watermelon cleanse. I made a video about it on my old channel that's now deleted, but it was raw food. The title of it was Raw Food is Like LSD, and because I was on a watermelon cleanse. So, this juice cleanse is like slow acting LSD or mushrooms. Now let me explain myself. So if you've ever taken psychedelics, like I haven't really taken acid, I did it once. So the onset of it isn't quite as uncomfortable as mushrooms can be. But so for the first, half hour or so, or maybe longer depending on what you took or, whatever, you kind of feel uncomfortable. You feel anxiety. You feel like, oh, did I want to do this? And you're feeling like you're questioning everything at first, unless you're really experienced and you know what to expect and you kind of just go with the flow. But the first 3 days of juice cleansing are very much like that. You're very uncomfortable. You kind of question, oh, should I be doing this? Am I gonna follow through with this? And then when you take the drugs though, it's there's no turning back. So you have to get yourself into the mindset that it's just a drug, it's going to run its course, and then it'll be done. But with juicing and fruit fasting, the beginning's uncomfortable. You're getting into the trip, right? You're getting into the trip. So you have all this uncomfortability, your body's getting used to it, and it's reprogramming or redoing itself. Then after the first half hour or the first 3 days, depending if you're talking about drugs or fasting, you get into the part where you're tripping. And you get into the part where you're just kind of flowing. You're just going. Everything's just on autopilot. You just feel everything more. The colors get brighter. Everything just seems more intense. And that's what happens on my juice cleanse. Everything seems a little different. Everything's brighter. Everything's more vivid. My feelings are more enhanced. Everything's more enhanced, and you get those peaks of bliss randomly, and it's not quite the same as if you did LSD or anything. Obviously, I'm not seeing colors and the shapes. I'm not seeing what are those called? Those geometric shapes coming at you. I don't know, fractals. I don't see fractals and everything, but yeah, it's slowly I'm in the trip now, and then I'm gonna come up to the peak. I don't know when, but I'm going for 40 days, so there's gonna be a peak at some point, and then normally on drugs you'd be coming down from that peak, but I'm thinking on juicing you just keep going up and up and up, and then you level off, and you're always peaking, you're always at your peak. You're always feeling like you're on LSD or Molly or some sort of drug like that, and it's really interesting, and the connection's real. You definitely feel the same sort of sensations when you're on raw food and juicing than that you do when you're tripping out, because you think about things differently, things look different, so you perceive them differently, so then you take in the information differently, and your whole reality is different than it was. And now this is a slow, gradual trip, so you get to experience everything. You don't get, everything's not rushed at you. You can kind of maneuver through the world on the juice. And then when you're tripping, you're not as in control. So I say, if you want to trip, do a juice cleanse for an extended period. I'm only on day 8, and I'm already starting to make this correlation. Another thing is spirituality. So I feel more connected with God or source or the universe or whatever. I feel just more able to receive, and I think it's just because I'm in that vibration. I raise my vibration up to that level, and you can reach that with drugs, but it's not sustainable. This is a sustainable way to trip but be cognitive and have good feelings all the time, and then you still get to go through all the emotional stages that you go through if you trip, because if you ever taken mushrooms, it can be like a magical experience where when you're done, you're like, you somehow let go of all these feelings, because everything comes up when you're tripping, especially on mushrooms. Like, it's a really good teacher. You know, it teaches you, but like, you don't need to take a poison to do that. You can use juicing, and it's gonna teach you through the same steps, but it's actually gonna go slower. So it might be like harder, but you know, it's gonna be worth it in the end, because drugs kind of are like taking a plane straight to the destination. And then juicing is like taking a car or a bike. So when you're on a plane, you don't really see anything. You miss a lot of stuff, you know. Or a better way would be, you could drive somewhere, and you see stuff, you catch some stuff, you gain some knowledge while you're driving. You know how to get back there, but you don't really know the way exactly. And then if you rode your bike, you would see like every sign, you would see everything on the side of the road, you would know like all the different intersections, and you'd have a lot easier time getting back there, you know, than if you were to just like sped your way through it and never really experienced it as like you were going. So yeah, I don't know, what do you guys think about that? I think it's a really cool concept, and it really feels true to me, because I've had a couple experiences on psychedelics, and I made this connection when I was on watermelon, and it's very, very similar. You feel a lot different, and you feel like the world is a lot different. And I think if everyone could just experience this, I think this is what John Rose is talking about. Like, I'm definitely not to the point where I'm feeling blissful and all that, but you know, if more people could experience this, especially people who have done drugs in the past and they just eat hot dogs and they think they're spiritual, but they're eating dead pig tits and shit. So I don't know, that's like a pet peeve of mine, but yeah, so like, I think those people would benefit a lot, because they would see like, whoa, this is kind of how I felt when I was tripping, but I'm like, I feel better, like I feel like I'm high on life, and it's just really cool. So I just wanted to share that idea with you guys, and yeah, that's about it. I will see you soon.